Hi everyone, Aiden here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install this CURT Class 2 custom fit trailer hitch receiver on our 2022 Toyota RAV4. Now when it comes to hitches for your RAV4, there's plenty of options out there, and most of them are going to be Class 3, offering you a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. This one from CURT is going to be a Class 2, offering an 1¼ by 1¼ receiver tube opening. So the reason you might go with that smaller receiver tube opening is maybe you already have an accessory that you're bringing over from a previous vehicle that had an 1¼ hitch, like a bike rack. So you know you're looking for an 1¼ hitch, so it's a seamless transition. Or you know you're only ever going to need this for a bike rack, and that bike rack isn't going to be carrying heavy e-bikes, and you just want a smaller receiver tube that takes up a little less space on the back of your vehicle. That could be a good use case too. If you aren't in that category and you're going to find yourself maybe doing some light towing with a ball mount, maybe needing a cargo carrier, or looking for a heavier bike rack that can support e-bikes with a heavier tongue weight, then one of those Class 3 options would be better in my opinion, because that 2" by 2" receiver tube opening does offer a lot more accessibility and just ease of mounting those accessories because it's a bit more universal. When it comes to your Class 2 options though, if that's what you've landed on, you've got this from CURT and you've got the Draw Tight. Installation for both is going to be pretty much the exact same. We're going to see some differences though is just the overall appearance. The end of the collar on this CURT here is going to be one smooth piece where you can see a seam where Draw Tight welds on their collar. So it's not going to be as neat of an appearance in my opinion. And this small plate on the top of the CURT is going to be much larger and more visible on the Draw Tight. Again, just I think taking away from the overall appearance and the cleanness of the install. Like we mentioned before, you've got an 1¼ by 1¼ receiver tube opening, and back here at the hitch pin hole, it's going to accommodate a 1/2" hitch pin and clip, although most accessories like bike racks will come with these and probably come with an anti-rattle pin. But if you're picking up something that doesn't come with a pin, that's what you're looking for. And these safety chain loops on the sides, if you do choose to tow a small trailer, are going to be large enough for your standard S hooks or even a larger hook, but you're probably not going to be using this larger clevis style with this hitch. As far as your weight capacity goes, it's got a gross trailer weight rating of 3,500 pounds. That's how much weight it can pull, and a maximum tongue weight rating of 350 pounds. That's the maximum downward pressure on the end of the receiver tube opening. Those are important to know for any accessories that you plan on using, or if you do plan on doing some light towing with it, but always make sure to check your RAV4 and what it's capable of, and just go by the lowest rated component, whether it's your RAV4 or the hitch. Some clearances to keep in mind: from the center of the hitch pin hole to the outer face of the vehicle, it's going to be about 4 inches. That's important to know for any folding accessories to let you know if you have clearance for them. And from the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening to the ground is going to be 12.5 inches. That'll let you know with something like a bike rack that has a rise in the shank, how much of a rise you're actually going to get and what that translates to in terms of ground clearance on your vehicle. And as far as the installation goes, like I mentioned, it's pretty straightforward, and it's going to be the same whether you go with this or the Draw Tight. One thing to know going into it is that you're going to need an extra set of hands to help you lift it, and that some of the holes are a little hard to reach, but it's a bolt-on installation using factory holes, so you don't have to do any drilling or fish wiring for your hardware. It's just a really simple bolt-on installation, so we'll walk you through it right now and you can see how it's done. Starting off the installation, we'll come to underneath the vehicle, right around the exhaust on the side of our frame rail. Now on the outside edge of the frame rail, there's going to be 2 stickers, one pretty close to the back edge of the vehicle, and then another further up right here. We need to get those removed, and just using a utility knife blade does a pretty good job at getting underneath that sticker and helping to peel that up, just to get it started so you can go the rest of the way and clean that up. Now, even though those weld nuts were covered up with a sticker, you may consider going back through some penetrating oil and a tube brush and cleaning them out especially if your vehicle is older at the time of installation. So we'll go through today and do that just as an extra step to ensure a smooth install. As far as hardware combinations goes, you're going to have 4 matching bolts and conical tooth washers. There's small teeth on those washers that you want facing up. That'll be in towards our frame rail. And it's important to note that the 2 locations you saw on the driver's side here are just mirrored on the passenger side. So grab a friend, we'll lift it up and get this hardware loosely installed by hand. All right, we've got Ethan here to help us lift, and we're going to feed the main bracket here over our exhaust. This panel here might give you a little bit of trouble, but it should just flex out of the way as we push it up and into position. You may consider kind of pulling on it, but eventually it'll pop right past, and we can push it up in line with our frame and just start one piece of hardware on either side. That way the hitch will support itself. With all of our hardware in hand tight, we can come back through with a 19 or 3/4 inch socket and snug the rest of that hardware down. Now you may have noticed on the passenger side, although the hardware is the exact same, everything is just a lot more close quarters. So you'll need something like a wrench, especially a ratcheting wrench, to snug down those bolts. And when it does come time to torque it, you'll need something like this that can attach to your torque wrench, a box end adapter or a crow's foot, just to ensure we can reach into that space where the depth is very limited and still properly torque it down. Now, if you don't have a torque wrench, you can find those here at eTrailer, or you can typically check one out or rent one from a local auto parts store. But just go down around all the hardware and torque it to the specifications found in your instructions. And with the hardware all torqued down, that'll do it for our look at and installation of the CURT Class 2 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver on our 2022 Toyota RAV4. Thanks for watching.